Hi, welcome to Cooking with Abba. Today we're going to look at how to travel with food, what food items to take, how to package your food items, and how to travel with them safely as well, and trouble-free and stress-free as well. These are tips from how I've traveled with food in most of my travel journeys as well. So whenever you're traveling, you're actually faced with two major challenges: the bag size and then the weight, of course. So usually, depending on whether you're flying economy or you're flying business class or whatever you're flying, it depends on that and then how much you're paying. So a typical offer would give you the backpack or the carry-on, which you can use your small suitcase or your backpack. You can check for the dimensions. You would also get a handbag and then your main luggage, which is usually 23 for economy. Sometimes, if it's a big airline or a big Boeing or a big flight, then they can give you like two of the 23s in there. And you always have your the small bag or your handy items in that as well. So there's another video on the items, the clothes, and all those basic stuff to pick up, what to take, and all those ones. But keep in mind that whenever you're traveling, your travel bags, try and label them as well. It's very necessary. It helps them when they are sorting and all those things. Yes, they will tag, but it's also necessary, and you never know. Someone may have the same bag as you are, so be careful about it. And most importantly, keep in mind, weight. Try and take something that is going to give you less weight, because some of the bags are so heavy, they even weigh like half of your things you are carrying along. So be very careful about it. Always keep a very cute or something small handbag that your essentials can go in. This would usually go in front of your legs or within your legs under your seat. So I usually keep my very essential stuff like my laptops, my documents, and all those ones, which should be very close to me. You don't have to be going into your backpack all the time for it. Very necessary to keep in mind. Now, the food items, my recommendation is just take something which, number one, is not available in the home country you are going. Number two, it is allowed for entry in that home country, sorry, in that host country you are going or that country you are going. Number three, you are not going to eat for the whole year. So please take something that can last you for like a month or two, or some essential things that you'll be using which are not available there. Yes. Don't go and carry fancy kinky for like 5 or 20 years of your stay there, please. It's just going to take all the luggage unless you are going to pay for extra luggage. Typically, your main luggage is 23 kilogram. If you're doing economy, you may be blessed to get two of those or 32 kilograms, depending on the type of airline and then the promotion they are doing at that point. And then for your hand luggage, together with your backpack or your carry-on, usually is 8 kilograms or at most 10 kilograms. And for those, you need to be very careful. Because for those, you can't have any food item in. You can't have liquid or sharp objects in there as well. So you need to know what is going into each bag of yours. The next thing you need to also keep in mind when you're packing for travel is the fact that if you keep food items in those back package I've talked about or in your hand luggage, if you don't take it, they'll seize it. I almost had that encounter in Nigeria. I was just going for my VFS travel, my VFS stuff. And honestly, I didn't want to carry any luggage or anything. So it was just my carry on, my backpack, and my handbag. And I had some cakes in there I was going to give out there. And trust me, they virtually seized it at the airport when they're doing the checks. So be very careful about those as well. Read as much as possible from the authorized website of these agencies and know what is there, what is not there. One blessing for me was I had some friends here who also gave me some heads up as to the African markets that was here. So in Finland, in Vasa, you have Elo Market, you have Hot Curry. They have virtually all the African stuff you'll be needing. All that matters is you just save up because those are more pricey than if you're buying it in Ghana or if you're bringing it from Ghana. So once I knew what was there, I didn't really have to stress so much on the food items I was bringing here because they are all going to take your weight. And like I said, you can't bring food that will last you for the whole year. It is not possible. If you bring food that will last you for the whole year, it's going to take all your weight or the required stuff you can actually carry on. And like I said, be very mindful of where you are going, because some countries don't allow the entry of some food items. And so if those ones are there, usually they'll discard it, especially with those fresh fruit items. Because if there are seeds and things, they feel you may come and plant it in disease, infections, and all those things. They don't want that. So be very careful about it. Now, most importantly, get these pouches. These pouches are very necessary. You can get them in the markets. They are cheap, they are affordable. Get these pouches, and these particular ones I would recommend. They have the brown, they have the white, any color, they have the full type. They are all worth it. What these pouches do is that they keep your products or your food items, the integrity of it. They improve it, and then they make sure that they last well. The most important thing is you realize that some part of it can be seen. It is very important, so that even if the pot people or the inspection team, if they should check and they are not too comfortable with it, they can see whatever is in the packages as well, which is very good. And label them. Label them. Don't just put it in and presume everybody knows what Kobe is. No. Label it and let them know. If it's something which is very localized, you can put the English name of it there, because some countries are very strict on some of these food entry stuff. So I like to use the pouches, and because these also don't take up so much space. If you go and use containers will take up all your space in your package, in your packing, and your bag sizes are also limited. So check for the bag sizes, check for the weight of it as well. If you want to check for the weight, it's not a normal scale. Get a traveler scale and use for it. So don't forget, get your pouches, very necessary. They come in different form, different sizes. Pick what suits you. Make sure that the food items you're putting in are good, because garbage in, garbage out. Take out all the air from it. Seal them up, very necessary. Label them up, very necessary. These are the things that are going to save you from trouble when you are traveling as well. And there are some airports that would recommend or push for you to actually declare the food items you are traveling with. So if that's the case, do so as well. And like I said, be very careful not to put food in your backpack unless you are with a child, an infant who is eating or breastfeeding or something. Those kids, they allow. And even in Nigeria, I remember one of the airlines, they were so strict. I tell you, there was one lady who had a kid and she had some food items and she had to taste all of those. Yes, they wanted to be sure, so she had to taste all of those items before they allowed her to go. So be very careful about those. Don't carry the things that you can get here. Just save up for it. Yes. So, like I said, once you do these, then you know that you are actually on a good foot. Look for the ingredients you may not readily get and then package them very well with your zip locks as well. I had some extra stuff like my Akabanga chili oil, because yes, there's not so much readily available here. Then Kulenu, I had to drop at a point because I realized there's palm nut base here, so there was no need for me to carry that as well. Baobab powder was something which I've not even seen since I came. So for that, it was a good plus as well. So just take the things that you would not get, and number two, the things that are very much essential as well. And when you're traveling, please, please, moderation. Don't go and take some big packs. Some of you are traveling and Gary alone come here and be very careful about those. Those will take up a lot of space. And if you do that and they seize your items, if you don't take care, you start changing Kempaluta. Makoma, please be very careful with those as well. So, like I made mention, keep these in mind and you won't have trouble traveling with food. So once you're done, these can be sealed. Don't do this and just go like that. It will pour in your bag. So seal them, and that improves the integrity of the food you have in there. And that also keeps you in shape. So if someone opens it, you know that this has been opened, because to open this, you'd have to tear it up. If it's the foiled type, you'd have to cut it up. So that's the most important thing. Seal it. Just heat up your iron and then you iron the ends out. You iron the ends out. There's a light rubber flings thing in there. So when you iron, it actually seals it. And I did some for the Gary and Tom Brown, like I said, kitwear be something to just last you for the few days or months when you come in, because by then you would now be finding where what is, where the locations are, and all those things. And when you come, you'll be hungry. So it's good to have those. And I love contomere, and I knew I was going to get fresh contomere here. I didn't want to do contomere stew and bring. So what I did was to get the contomere from the farmers market on Monday. I took out the stems, placed it in paper. Paper is very good. If you don't have a paper bag, you can just put it in graphic. Then you just close it up. Don't press it too much so that heat will go in. No. And then for the spices and all those ones, I placed them in the poly bag. I added the consumer in. I also taped that rubber bag so that just in case something is supposed to pour, it's not going to pour onto my stuff. And then I finally finished it up with some brown paper. You know, rubber can be a bit rubber in your stuff. When you're packing, it becomes a bit hard. But with the paper, it kind of helps. Then I taped it all around. Other stuff I brought too were some cuttlefish or pusana. Yes, I baked those to take out the water from it after steaming. I brought kaku. Yes, I love kaku for my contemporary and all those ones. They are very necessary. The fish powder, shrimp powder for the shuttle, which I hope you've seen and you've learned from it as well. I also brought some fried fish. Yes, when you come and bring things you can eat immediately when you come because you'll be hungry. So I also brought some Kobe and some beef. I had some few fried shrimps, be like that, just to sustain me the very first week I come. And I had some gravy and turkey berry and the things I will not really get over here. So this is a contumely. So like I said, I got this on Monday because where I stay, the farmers bring fresh produce on Mondays and Thursday, and I was traveling on Wednesday. So I bought this on Monday. I moved the stems and then I packaged it and placed it in the refrigerator. Very not like overly cold so it doesn't sweat in there. Then on Wednesday, I traveled with it and then I landed on Thursday. So this was actually on Thursday when I took these contemporary out or these spinach, this cocoyam leaves out. And you realize they were still green, they were still fresh, they were still good. Yes, that is how to travel with leaves. And I made it into my beautiful contemporary stew because I had already brought gravy. And for some of the food items I didn't bring, when I came, I went to the African market and I got them. So I got some banku mix, I got some, how do you call it, fresh vegetables, the onion I used, the okra, garden eggs, there was plantain, and you know I love plantain. So I definitely had to get some of those. So like I said, just Google and find out what is available where you are going because sometimes all the things you need is actually there. And I brought my hibiscus tea as well. And like I said, beans, oil, I don't really like to travel with them, but you can get them in most African markets and sometimes some Asian markets as well. So for those, I didn't have to carry along. I hope this video was very helpful to you. I have another video on the items, the clothing, pomades, and all those things you need to carry along when you're traveling, as well as some other travel tips and travel vlogs as well. Let me know what you really want to see in those subsequent videos as well. Lots of love for my team and I. Till I see you in the next good video. Do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Mwah.